the Lone Recruiter podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clementson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking guidance and mentorship in general, then you've come to the right place. Our daily episodes are designed to give you the motivation, advice, and strategies you need to succeed as a lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. So today is Monday, which means it is Motivational Monday. I really like to break this part up into two bits. First bit being the motivational, and then the second bit being the practical, because let's face it, we've just had the weekend and we are probably bleary-eyed, a little bit tired from the 2 days that was, and we need to kick our gears back into movement. So let's start with some motivation. And today I just really want to start with what anchors everything we do. And as recruiters, there is no secret to this that money is a huge driver for us. And I think what I want to target today is our relationship with money, because a lot of people don't like saying that they're motivated by money, because we've all heard money's not everything, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, and we all know this, but I dare you to go a day, if you have no money to pay a bill, I can tell you that that money is going to be important to you. So I think you just need to give it some context. And we see a lot of people, I think maybe recruiters have a better relationship with money. We see a lot of our family and friends, and you know, they push away from money, or they're saying, oh, I want to save this money for a rainy day, or I've got to partition my money off for bills, and I've got to pay for my mortgage, and I've got my car thing coming up. And I was given this brilliant concept early on in my career, which was the above the line and below the line thinking. And I'm reminded by Beth, who's standing behind this camera quite often, to just keep elevating your thinking, because when you get stressed, or when you have a bit of a gap in your cash flow, or when you have some big bills coming up, of course your brain just goes, I need to find the money to pay those bills. And you're allowed to do that, but don't stay there. Don't keep thinking that that's what I need to focus myself, because guess what? That's all you'll spend your money on. You actually, and I've seen this time and time again, when you focus on those big ticket items like a flight to Italy, or you know, a nice watch, or you know, a weekend away with some friends, and you know, it's above the line thinking. It's not paying your bills, it's actually indulgence. But when you think about these things and you gravitate to those things, guess what? The bills get paid. All your cash flow worries are taken care of, because you're just not focusing on them. So it's what you focused on. And I think where the focus goes, the energy flows. And this is exactly this concept in play. So what I want to do at the moment is just have a think. If you have to pause this episode, do so. But just remind yourself of what money means for you. And it needs to be above the line. If you want to go down this exercise and you want to put all of the things that your money needs to be spent on, whether it be car repayments or mortgages, or you know, LinkedIn bills, or whatever they might be, do it. Get them out of your head. But you need to put a blanket over them and just ignore them for a moment. Let's look at the higher level stuff, and I want you to write down all those things that actually excite you, because money is exciting when you've got something exciting to put it forward. And there's a great line: money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does buy you really fun things like jet skis. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm hoping to achieve out of all of this is that you get really excited and motivated to tackle those hard calls at your desk, to tackle those difficult negotiations, because there's some meaning and anchoring to it. So that's what I want to get for the motivational part today. And if you need to press pause now and do that exercise, just draw a line. And everything above that line is positive, exciting, it pulls you, it energizes you. And everything below that line, it's boring, it's chores, it's there, it needs to be done. But my point is, it will be taken care of. And so when you're planning your week, when you're planning your months, when you're planning your years in terms of your revenue and targets, you need to be anchoring all of those exciting parts above the line. And I can guarantee you're probably more likely to get your goals than if you focus just on the bills. So, that leads me to part 2 of today's episode. These are short, sharp episodes. We, really designed for a busy recruiter. I want to plan your day. I want to plan your week. We want to start this one off with a bang. So, what I'd like for you to do now is grab a pen and paper, and let's just go. What's closest to the money? We just talked about money, but what is closest to the money? So your to-do list. Let's build that out. That might be an invoice that needs to go out to a client. It might be something that, a deal that maybe you've got an offer out and you're waiting to get a response on today because it's Monday. Had they said yes, let's fingers crossed that they've done that. What's closest to the money? Do you need to get an offer from a client today? What deals are in your pipeline for this week? Okay. Are there any deals that are getting stuck? Have you got anything that's there, they're on interview, they're on second interview, it's kind of stuck? Maybe you need to phone a friend. Is there any deal on your desk right now that just feels frustrating? It feels dead. Don't give up on it. Talk to a friend, a colleague, someone that you've worked with before. Hey, I've got this deal. If you've got 5 minutes, I just want to run this past you. How would you approach this? Because objectivity can make the world of good when it comes to deal making. It's Monday. Any second interviews to book? Any first interviews to book? And once you've got all of that stuff out of the way, that's stuff that you did last week and the week before. This is just now going through the course of recruitment. Here's how we're going to set up this week. What do you need to generate? So only you know your numbers. I can't tell you what numbers should be. I don't know what your metrics are. That's a very personal, individual thing. But what do you need to generate today or this week? So is it a project on LinkedIn? Is it 2? Is it 3? We need to work out what they look like. And hopefully you've got the work in or the jobs to work on to put those projects together. And if you don't, obviously, let's go and get some projects. For me personally, 1 to 2 projects a week is what I like to work on, and 1 to 2 client briefs planning for the following week. So at least I know I'm paving the way. And these are things I can control. I can't control someone saying yes or no to a job, but I can control my actions and my activities. And so it's all about just keeping it really simple and really neat. Another one is open to opportunities. If you haven't done already, set up your open to opportunity saved searches on LinkedIn, and you should be checking those Mondays and Wednesdays religiously, because there's always someone good to come up, and that's just a little freebie, and you might be able to canvas the market with them this week. So point for today and this week is to keep it simple. What projects are you working on? What roles do you need to or briefs do you need to get from clients to pave way for the following week? What open opportunities can you chase down and canvas out to the market? Make sure you tune in to tomorrow's episode. We'll be doing a deep dive on a difficult close that we recently went through and reviewing the past 24 hours of activity, because I want to make sure that you guys are on track for the week. If you got any value out of today's episode, please subscribe, share, and recommend this podcast, as it really helps us grow and get this out to a wider audience. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals come true.